I've been around the block a couple of times. I went to Iceland and then Ghana and then Japan and then Fiji and then Australia and then New Zealand.
Wow.
And then a little bit time in New York, a little bit time in Italy.
So everywhere.
A little bit time in Ireland.
The culture that you're soaking in on these trips, how are you documenting it? I mean, it must be filled with inspiration.
I started writing a diary, which is very 17th century of me, I think, but it's it's good. It's good. I think I just needed time to recharge.
Is that where these last songs, Shape of You and Castle on the Hill, were created during these trips? Where was it? Do you remember?
Shape of You was written about a month ago. Yeah, that was like a really late edition. I finished it about a week ago before.
Wow.
Literally like a week ago, yeah. So it's a bit of a late edition, but the inspiration behind that, I didn't have any sexually charged songs for the album, and I think that's what was needed.
Obviously avoid, because I think, at this point, I mean, sexually charged songs, I don't think they're big in your repertoire, but there's a lot of passion, a lot of, and that I hear in Shape of You. Who was that written about? I mean, what were you thinking about when you were describing the person?
I wanted to write an appreciation song for the female form rather than, like the actual shape of but like any shape. So that was instead of writing a song being like you're beautiful or you're this or that, it was like I'm in love with the shape of you rather than I don't know. It made sense in my head and people seem to like it.
Castle on the Hill. This song, it's about. Correct me if I'm wrong. Home in general, right? The idea of home.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, like, that's the kind of ambiguous one, but the actual, like, literal it's my hometown, which is in the middle of nowhere. No one ever visits, and I really wanted to write an appreciation song on it because it's beautiful.
How often do you think about home?
Well, I live there now. I bought a house there, so I thankfully get to spend most of my time there.
That's great.
That's incredible. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, but it's a lot of traveling, yeah, obviously. Yeah,
but it's worth it. It's worth it. I get to wake up and look at a field rather than wake up and look at a building.
Do you not enjoy all the fame that comes with the success? Because in Castle on the Hill, it seems like you missed the simpler times.
Well, I'm still a pretty simple person anyway, so I think that I'm still living in the simpler times. But no, fame's like. I think you just have to find a way to deal with it in your own way, and the kind of reason I took the break is I didn't know how to deal with it, so I wasn't really enjoying it, and now I've kind of recharged my batteries and thought about why I was in the music industry and come back to it with a different view, and I don't really mind that. Like I'm really grateful that people have a lot of love for the music I make, which is nice.
And why do you think you're in the music industry? Why do you put up with it?
To perform, and it took a year of not performing to realise that, because I started getting like pangs of being upset, and I was like, what am I upset about? And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't played a show in a year, and it's that buzz. It's like a drug. It's like a drug. You get addicted to it. That's why Bob Dylan will continually tour, because that's his drug.
Can you describe the feeling when you step off a stage after an incredible show, after MSG sold out?
Do you know what? The feeling when you step off stage is just kind of like, whatever, like what we're doing next. But that feeling when you step onto stage it's kind of if you were to drink 14 cans of Red Bull, but in a nice, not in a like twitchy, weird, paranoid way, but in a really nice euphoric whoosh sensation that goes. It's just a big hit of adrenaline.
Would you ever tour with a full band, or do you not like the full band feel?
I don't like it at the moment because I'm young enough and sprightly enough to be able to jump on boxes and entertain on stage. But I think as soon as I like break my hip or something like that when I'm older, I'll get
so like 35-ish.
Start touring. Like. Yeah, well, you never know. You never know.
I mean, so MSG, do you set goals for in the touring world? Do you want to do a stadium one day?
I've already done a stadium in America. I've done like 6.
Wait.
I did the big one was Foxborough, Gillette
Boston.
one.
I feel like a piece
Yeah,
of
sold-
now. I'm sorry.
I sold it out.
No, I saw your I'm sorry. I saw your MSG show. I'm sorry, sir.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
We thought you topped
That's
off
all
at
right.
MSG.
To be honest.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know.
But you know, when another goal would be to do something like Giant Stadium, because I haven't done that
Yeah.
yet. So that would definitely be one. But don't worry, man. No one really knows about the Boston show because it kind of came at the end of a tour and wasn't really heavily publicised. But it did. We did sell it out. I had Chris Martin came on. We sung Yellow together.
Oh,
which was
Oh,
nice.
cool.
How do you measure success right now in your life? Because I mean, is it hard for you to gauge because you have accomplished so much?
No, I think success is me and all my family. There is never a point where we wake up and go, I want to do that, and then can't do it. I think that's that's my success rate. You know, like if I'm like, oh, I want to go to Iceland and bring my parents or something like that, or like, you know, it's just the success for me has taken out the worry of things, which could be unhealthy, but at the moment it's a very nice thing.
And that must be a freeing feeling for you and for your family. That comfort for the first time, you know, in a long time.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I definitely don't want to lose the memories of what it was like before, though, because I think especially me and my parents and my mates will go a bit wild with that. I think yeah, you don't want to get you don't want to get to a point where it's normal to travel all the time.
Well, when you first stepped away in December of 2015, you said that the upcoming album was the best you've ever written. So how much of the album was already done back then?
50% of it, and then I made another 50%, and then I didn't really fit, and so I scrapped it, and then I made another 50%, and now it's done. But that at the point of writing that tweet, I had Castle on the Hill was already in the bag, and a few other singles that will be coming out soon.
Do you keep lyrics in your diaries, or do you just document stories and then create from there? How does it work for you?
No, I'm not really a big writer down of lyrics. I know all the rappers ever go, I don't write my lyrics, man, but like it's really easy just to be in the studio and drop down lines one by one, and that's kind of what I do as well. But it isn't like Jay-Z actually writes the whole rap in his head and then raps it. But like just standing in a booth and putting down a line one by one when it sounds good, like that's kind of normal, I think. So I don't really write stuff down, but I wouldn't brag about it and be like, I don't write lyrics, man. You know, because yeah,
I would.
I would. Yeah.
Is that what from a music fan perspective, is that a cool thing to get a chance to learn how the other greats create? I mean, you are around incredible musicians always. You must just pick up knowledge and just stories just being around, yeah?
I heard a very cool story about Eminem and Kendrick Lamar. Eminem he'd heard that Kendrick Lamar was the best rapper, and he invited him to the studio to get him on a song, and he arrived and Kendrick came with all his mates. And Eminem said, I just want you in the studio, just you on your own. And then my engineer's going to come in and then record you doing it, but your mates aren't allowed in. And then Kendrick did it, wrote a sick verse, and then everyone came in to listen to it. And Eminem said he did it to test Kendrick because he thought he had a ghostwriter, and he then realised that he didn't, and then claimed that he was the best, which is kind of cool, I think.
Wow, that's a really cool move.
Yeah, that was Rick Rubin, who did my second album, did that Eminem album. He told me that story.
That's very cool.
Which I thought was a good story.
When you get into a studio with somebody, what do you listen to of theirs? Do you just go in with no knowledge? How does it work when you collaborate with somebody?
I usually won't step into a studio with someone unless I like their stuff. But yeah, I guess when I'm working with someone, I don't know when the last time I did it was. I haven't done it in a while. So yeah.
Did you work with any other? Oh, sorry.
No. That's it. Were you going to say? Did I work with any other artists on this album?
Yeah, because I know you're a big fan of hip hop. So did you work with anybody on this upcoming album?
I got John Mayer on a guitar solo that's
cool.
uncredited. That's quite cool because I did a really terrible guitar solo in a song, and I was like, I bet John Mayer could do this better. So I emailed him, and he did it a lot better.
That's awesome.
Ed Sheeran, dude, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. It means a lot.
Thank you so much. Nice one.
One more question from Dan.
I see tons of people online asking what you're going to name your albums when you run out of math symbols. Have you thought about that?
Well, I'm not planning to do the math symbol thing for
all of them. But yeah, I have thought about that, and I have another 5 lined up that will be after the next. I've got 2 more maths things, and then I've got 5 more different things coming up.
Cool. Wow. Ed Sheeran.
So at least 5 more albums from Ed Sheeran.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey.
Was 7.
Oh,
At least 7 more albums.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
Yeah, and then I'm done.
You plan on doing this? I mean, so at that point, you're going to be much older. So do you plan on going forever? Or do you have an age in your mind that you want to stop?
I think the time in my life where I would like to pause is kids. I would like to see my kids grow up, and then when they get to about sort of like 14, 15, 16, when they don't really want their dad around anymore because he's uncool, that's when I'll start doing it again.